Shh, don't say anything, don't say anything. Hello, everybody. Hello. How is everybody? Chat, I have decorations as promised. We have cake. Don't worry about the mustache. Huh? What? I grew facial hair. I just grew do you have a problem with me growing facial hair? Is that what it is? Happy Gene Day. Oh, I need to adjust something real quick. One second, chat. Don't worry about the border that's gonna appear around me in just a second, okay? Ow! Where is it? There we go. Okay. We're gonna try this. You ready? It didn't work. No. Oh well, that's fine. Anyways, hello, everybody. You'll notice that there are some new redeems. Oh, they might not be on the. No. 1 second. What the heck was that? Okay. There we go. That should fix it now. I wasn't expecting the random throw. Okay. Hey, what the? Why? Who did that? Rude. Stop. Okay. Happy Gene Day. Hello. Fucking no. I told you I'd give it to you, and now you can hit me with things. I hope you enjoy hitting me with things, okay? Don't worry about... There you go. We happy? Anyways. Why is there bears? Don't worry about the bears. Sometimes there's bears. Okay, let me do... Yes, exactly. You can abuse the pup. Exactly. You can abuse me now. Okay, let me do a little thing. Let me do my thing. You know the thing, right? It's unbearable, isn't it? Ow! It was a funny joke. Okay. 10 hours ago. 8 hours ago, 7 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 5, 4, 3, 2, now. Okay. First off, Boku, thank you for getting first. Thank you, Karmia, for getting second. Thank you, Silvervang Rose, for getting third. Did y'all get it in the right order? That's incredible. That's amazing. Your Neff's boyfriend, she loves watching your stream. Sick! I hope you enjoyed as well. Moss Dwarf, thank you so much for checking in. And we're going to give hellos to everybody who checked in. So hello, Dwarf. Hello, Silvervang. Hello, Karmia. Hello, Alien. Hello, Moon. And hello, Pink. And hello, Onyx. And hello, Neeks. And hello, Pan the Dragon. Hello, Spell. Hello, Brookie. Hello, Ocean. Hello, Naptime. Hello... Moth Hockey Girl or Mo the Hockey? Hello, Mo. Hello, Echo, and hello, Cheshire Bones, and hello, Mizuki, or Flowers, whichever one you prefer, and hello, Vividly, and hello. There's so many people. Hello, Boku. Hello, Cup of Coffee. Oh, and he really would start with the Viney voice. Why did I add that one? I don't want to. Fine. Okay, we're going to be doing this for a little while. I'm going to be stuck like this, and I hope it's not just the worst thing that you've ever heard. All right, where's the minute? 4:29. Okay. Anyway, so today is it's what day is it today? It's Gene Day, and we have cakes and cupcakes, and we have all the balloons, and it's just so many things we have. And we're going to be playing Katamari Damacy. I'm giving up. Christmas is ruined. Christmas is ruined. It is most definitely ruined because I'm in this situation now. And I'm currently waiting for my actual cake to arrive because, unfortunately, the guy was all, I'll get you your cake at 4 p.m. and now it's almost 4:30 and they still haven't gotten me my cake. Oh, the Starbucks is on the... Fine, I'll see if I can find the Starbucks. Give me a second. Why do you want Starbucks? That's pizza. There's blankets. That's Brahms. There's Starbucks. Okay, I got it. I can't grab the Starbucks. The Starbucks can't be grabbed. Oh no. What if I just move it up? There we go. There's your Starbucks. Are you happy? And it is done. Okay, I can stop doing that voice. That was awful. Anyways, yes, we have a mustache today. I'm still at work, so okay, I hope you enjoy your working. I have my otter blanket over here. Nice! I thought the mustache would be a nice touch for celebration times, you know? Y'all hate my real voice. Y'all hate my real voice is what it is. Y'all hate it. Because why else can I have the mustache? You cannot have the mustache. Why else would you immediately choose to go into the Southern voice? The second I get out of one, you're like, no. No, Gene. How dare you have a normal voice? You must hate it. You must hate it. Kind of look like a Frenchman now. How many Frenchmen have you seen before? Gene Day today is Gene Day. Happy Gene Day. I have a Southern beautiful. Well, you know, I do appreciate that one. Southern voice is normal voice. Southern voice is not my normal voice. I know. You know what the worst part is, chat? I can't put on a cowboy hat. I try to put on cowboy hats and none of them really sync well because my hair moves around too much. It's awful. I wanted to have a cowboy hat, but they wouldn't let me wear one because of my ears and my hair. Now, I mean, look at me complaining that my steak is too soft and buttery and my lobster is too... That don't seem right. Lobstery? No. Today's Gene Day. It's not my birthday, though. Don't worry. We'll still have a birthday. A birthday we'll be having it. What do you mean? Of course you got a cage. Of course you got a cage. But the food is in with... Oh! Hey! Oh, shoot, my cake's almost here. All right, chat, I'll be right back. You behave yourselves. Boof, right back. Ha-ha! All right, chat. All right, my lovely little voidlings. I'm here. I hope you didn't miss me too much. Oh no, the mustache. Give me a second. Where'd it go? Where did my mustache go, chat? Who took it? Which one of you snapped my mustache? I know one of you did it. All right. I've got it. Now I'll take off the clown nose. Don't you worry. There we go. There we go. Normal mustache. We better? I got you, Boku. I got you. Ow! Come on. Come on. Stop move. Stop hitting me. I'm trying to put my mustache on. There it is. That'll do. That'll do. Ah! Ah! What the heck? Why is everybody hitting me? Why are you all so violent? I can't believe it. What did I do? Does it on this day of all days? Chaos? Fine. Well, we taken both of them away. Taking both of them away. All right, so what do we got? We got, first off, I got a pint of Rocky Mountain ice cream. Rocky Mountain ice cream, absolutely delicious. And then, ooh, I love Rocky Mountain. Rocky Road, not Rocky Mountain. Halt. Absolutely delicious. Happy Gene Day, Cordelia. How you doing? And then we got a custom cupcake. And by a cupcake, I mean it's a cake that's actually made in like an ice cream cup. So you have layers upon layers of cake, and you get to choose custom filling. And so I got strawberries, I got raspberries, I got a lemon drizzle, covered in a lovely strawberry frosting, chocolate cake. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, and guess what, chat? It's gluten-free. It's gluten-free. It is absolutely gluten-free. Absolutely incredible. Oh, it's so good. What? Let me take a picture of it. I'll share. I'll definitely share. Let me put it on my bed real quick. All right, now I can put my foot in it. And we're gonna post it to the Discord. Photo dump. And there it is. All right, I got it. 51 to 49. What button are you gonna press? Don't worry about the button. Press any button. Press all the buttons. Press all. Ah! Why are you hitting me again? So, we have some plans for today, okay? We're going to be doing a few quizzes, a few personality quizzes to get to know Gene better. Wait, Gene, I was in a friend server and I said I'm mod for you, and one of them said, oh shit, that's a big name. I'm a big name? Since when am I a big name? What do you mean? I'm a big name? Ah, stop hitting me! No! I was excited. Let me be excited for a few seconds. Chat, did you hear that? I'm a big name. Ow! Honestly, is it just because my name is long? Is that what it is? My name's too long? They're just like, I can't actually read it that long? Guy who haunts the group chat? Honestly, that is Gene. This is David.
Gene, this is David. Happy Gene Day.
Hello, David. David. Thank you for wishing me happy Gene Day. I don't know who David is, but David, you're cool. I like you. We share excitement and throwing things we pummel you with affection. I do feel pummeled. It's not my birthday, it's just Gene Day. It is not my birthday, it is Gene Day. And again, why is there Gene Day? Because I want my own holiday. Yay. I do think it's really funny though, and Crucy, as soon as Crucy's here, we're gonna read Crucy's poem. Or I guess we could read it before Crucy gets here. Crucy pointed out today is Caps Lock Day, and today is Make a Dog's Day. Which, honestly, I don't know what other day should be my day, you know? So today is the best days for me. Caps Lock Day, so we can yell and scream, and Make a Dog's Day. Yeah. Also, if you donate bits, anything over 100 bits will throw stuff at me. And yeah, just letting you know. Ow. Raids and subs will too. Thank you for following. Appreciate it. Let's see if you win. What if winning also hit me with things? Anyways, okay. Not a dog, though. Not a dog. See, I have 4 ears. Chat. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many dogs have 4 ears, huh? Wadeems. I'm such a good doggy. There. And a stretch. And do we have any hydrates? No, nobody wants me to drink water. Gina's from Chernobyl. It's true. God, this is really good. This is so good. I'm really impressed by this. Holy. I'm so happy. Wait, what was that? What was what? The slot machine? Oh, when you follow, there's a slot machine. Same with you subbed. Catch the squeak. Chat, go grab the squeak. Ow! Did I tell you all I figured out why my throwing wasn't working for a while? I'd layered it wrong. Yeah? Well, Sakona, maybe petting the Chernobyl dog is worth shortening my lifespan, okay? Maybe it's worth it. Maybe I don't want to live that long. You see? So I'm gonna go pet all the Chernobyl dogs and live a short, but happy life. I am. No! Oh. Thank you for the follow, Sinful Microwave. I love your name. I wonder what goes inside of you. We're just. Hey chat, long time no see. I'm glad stream just now started. Guess who has a cake? And it's Gene Day. Happy Gene Day, everybody. Why? Okay. I also have 3 bottles, 2.5 bottles. Thank you for the follow. I have 1.5. Math. I have 2 and a drip of soju. Yes. So there will be some alcohol. Redeem? Reckon. I certainly do reckon. Oh, you know reckon. Okay. So, first off, I need to find the Omegaverse quiz. I don't know if anybody has the Omegaverse quiz. But let me see if I can find it. Give me one little second here. Yeah, I got it. So, instead of sharing screen, I'm just gonna read the test to you. Is everybody okay with that? We valid? Thank you, Neeks. I did find it. Perfect. I think so. All right, here we go. You ready? The accurate Omegaverse quiz, 100% guaranteed. Okay, number 1. What is your ideal partner? Partner. Obedient, assertive, funny, motherly, independent, social, cuddly, easily flustered, tendered, submissive, Protective. I only get one of these? I only get one of these? Why would you want a single partner who has only one category? Do you want to see the? Okay, wait. Fine. I'll have to change the screen for me a little bit. It's gonna take me. We're gonna see if everything's gonna break real quick. Okay. We're still okay. All right, here we go. This site is so badly formatted. All right, can I put this hamburger menu? There we go. There it is. All right, we ready? Okay, what is your ideal partner? If I can only pick one of these, I mean,
I hope in Manifest you get Submissive Omega. Just to make fun of you to heat.
Why are you so mean to me? Why are you so mean to me? Okay, protective, no. Submissive, no. Tender, easily flustered. I mean, easily flustered is fun, but no. Like, it's not. If I could only have one of these, cuddly's great. Social. Yeah, let's go funny. I'll take funny. Okay, what is this? Where would you go for your first date? All right. Nighttime hike, bowling, clubbing, aquarium, zoo, their house, my house, picnic date, movies and dinner. Movies and dinner's lame. Fine, we'll do that too. Movie und dinner is so lame. Picnic date is very cute, but it's not the best dates that you can do, okay? Aquariums are fun, but really, like, I don't want to be walking the whole time. My first date, this is going to sound stupid, I like my house. Honestly. My house, fully in control, have the nice setting. I can get everything ready for them. And we can do something, like, very cool. And at my house, anything could happen. Yeah. It's comfy, so my house. Wait, could I pick more than one? Wait, we need to go back. Give me a second. Oh, I can pick more than one. Sorry, this is very important. Okay, funny. I do like cuddly. Easily flustered is great. Tender. A little social. I do like social. Independent is also good. Yeah. There we go. Gene, you want almost everything. Yes, I do. Okay, and now next. There we go. That's better. I will have all of these. If I'm allowed to take a little bit of everything, why would I not take all of it? Okay. You're doing Kahoot with a group and your partner, do you let them win? Them winning is disrespectful to me? What kind of answer is that? If it makes them happy, I will. I don't see why not. I will kick their ass in the next Tuesday. No. I'm an idiot, they win anyways. You ask someone on a date, do you pay? Yeah, absolutely. Why not? How do you spend your free time? Reading fanfiction? No. Writing, drawing, anything artistic, hands-on activities, woodworking, being active, cooking, listening to music, spending time with my friends. What do you count as, chat? Are you autistic? Chat, are you autistic? It's not my birthday. It is just Gene Day. It's my own holiday. We are celebrating my own holiday. Wait a second. There we go. Okay, no. Artistic, not autistic. Listen to the words. Artistic, yeah? No, artistic. Chat, what are you not understanding about this one? Artistic. Thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciated. Welcome. Okay, does this count as spending time with friends? Hello, JJ. Welcome. Because all I do really is I work and I stream. Is the friends one? Okay, we'll go with spending time with... Oh, wait a second. Listening to music, cooking. I do artistic things. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. When you play open worlds, games, Minecraft, Terraria, Ark, what do you enjoy doing? Farming, PvP, building, pet collecting, flower picking. Exploring's the best. Exploring is the best. So yes. Actually, I guess I do also... Wait, we gotta go back. How do I go back? There's my back button. Okay. Exploring, resource hoarding, mining. We don't flower pick. Pet collecting, not much. Building, and farming. Next. Well, thank you for the check-in, Misty. Hello. And Nyaria, VT, welcome. Hello. We're almost done with this accent, and I can do a new one soon. Thank you for the follow, Paranormal Dwarf. Welcome to my Gene Day. Okay. I like natural tones. They are very nice. Any cool colors except for neons? I like neons. Jewel tones, they are good. Pastels are nice. Black. I'm the darkest of all the darks. It's true. I'm the darkest of all the darks. Warm colors? Come on. Okay. Do I go looking like my... I do like jewel tones a lot. Ooh, I love jewel tones, actually. They're sick. Cake is so good. Oh. Alright, we're back. You find out your friends have a group chat excluding you. What do you do? What friends? What friends? I know, but I know this one's kind of edgy. So immediate violence, ignore. People can do whatever they want. Talk with another friend group. Try and cut them off. Yeah, talk to them. Hey, I know you have a group. Whatever. Okay. Pinterest, movies, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, or Facebook. Where's TikTok? TikTok is my one site. Gene, I need you to know. Need to know what is in the blue container the pic you sent in DC. Huh? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What blue container? Wait, no, this is important now. Oh! Piss. Stretch, thank you. Hydrate. Let me hydrate. Give me a second. It's G-Subs. It's G-Fuel. It's G-Fuel. Sorry, there we go. Okay. I guess YouTube. Pick an ideal superpower. Mind control, invisibility, healing, immortality. Immortality in an instant is the best superpower. It's not platonic anymore. I've been suffering for so long. God help me. Yes, obviously I flirt with my friends. What friends? How do you handle stress? I guess I ignore it. It'll go away eventually. Or I vent to others. I do vent. I do vent. Wow, don't bonk me. What's your role in a group project? Make sure everybody does their shit. Yeah. Dogs. I'm sorry I had to choose that one so quickly. Because today's Jean Day. That's why we have a mustache. You need to go out late at night to go to the store. It's pitch black and the streetlights are the only source of light. What do you do? It's just a little dark. Huh? You're sitting in class and your teacher's being frustrating. How do you handle it? Complain to a friend. Confront them. Wait, there's 40 questions. We're only on 16. I'm doing this so slow. It does, doesn't it? Y'all yell at them and walk out more dramatic. Talk to the teacher about it after class. Be passive aggressive. No, talk to the teacher about it. Where's XD? Where's XD? Where's XD? Where is XD? Fine. Winky face, I guess. Which country would you move to? Probably Germany. I have family there. What color is math? I don't know. Change with my notebooks? What does this mean? Ball tickler. Fair enough. Welcome back, Wrecking Ball. Do you like Andrew Tate? No. What type of clothing do you wear most often? What type of clothing do you wear most often? Misogyny. Whatever I have and looks good, obviously. Favorite trope? Found family, enemies to lover, bully to lover, miscommunication, Omegaverse, yandere, hurt, comfort, angst, no comfort, arranged marriage, fake dating. Wait, what's a fake dating? What is fake dating? That's not a thing, right? That sounds weird. Is? Oh! Okay. What's PWP? I assume it's a genre. Can anybody tell me what PWP is? Oh! 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 Plot? What plot? I like it. Are we talking about like books, movies, or everything? Because I love miscommunication when in a book. Book is so much fun, but watching it in movies is so awkward and I hate it. I hate that so much. In books, I love the little kind of miscommunication. It's a little goofy and silly, and then it's whatever. But in shows and movies, it's the absolute worst. Bully to lover ain't bad. Found family's kind of boring. Enemies to lovers overdone. Honestly, it might be plot what plot. It might be plot what plot. I might go with it. It might actually be. Oh, I can pick more than one. Perfect. Okay, bully to lover. I do kind of like miscommunication. I do like yandere. What does hurt comfort mean? Are we talking about like sadism, or are we talking like oh no, I made you upset, let me take care of you? Are we talking sadism? I mean, no, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Anyways. Okay, major character death, angst, hurt, no comfort, found family, terminal illness. No. Comfort, no hurt. Sick fic? Wing fic? Tooth rotting fluff, idiots and... What is sick fic? Graphic depiction of violence, kidnapping, Stockholm syndrome, hurt, no comfort, suicidal ideation. Strangers to lovers, tattoo flower shop. Mild angst, fluff, no beta, we die like men. No beta, we die like men. You know, I feel like the thing I don't like about fanfics is they so dive into like one trope or one aspect that like there's no like real development half the time. Honestly, I'm gonna say none. Swing to the cage in the basement. Don't worry about the basement cage. You're walking through a public space. I don't like fanfics. I legitimately do not like that. Thank you for the Happy Gene Day. Woo woo. I just don't like fanfics. Honestly, the thing is though, I think I also don't like people, like, I like other people doing fanfics, and I appreciate fanfics. I don't like people rewriting characters. I do not like people changing already established characters, and like, it's just not something that I enjoy reading. But, am I against it? No. And I like taking existing tropes and OCing it. Like, if you were to take me, for instance, and write a fanfic about me, go for it. I'm all for that. And if you were like to take a specific character and like you take them out of the story and put them in whatever situation, that would be okay. But just rewriting stuff ain't my thing. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, taking notes. You're walking through public space and see someone. Public space and see someone beating up an innocent person. If it's just you three there at the moment, the attacker looks to be more muscular. What do you do? The beta cuck probably deserved it. Step in, try to make the attacker back off. So I need more cake. Bobo's here. Congratulations on having Boba. What do you do if you're sick and have a prior engagement? They should be thankful for me getting my terms on them. Call it off. Yeah, call it off. Someone's yelling at you for something you didn't do. How do you reply? I start yelling back and insulting them. I wait for them to get done and calmly explain what's going on. I start crying. I immediately start. Anyways. Oh, yeah, just wait for them to get done. That's fair, that's fair. Hi, Boy Wally. Enjoy getting your brows done. I can get my brows done. You're on the internet and have somehow managed to get yourself into an internet argument about something you're coming to realize you're clearly wrong about. How do you handle it? Edit the Wikipedia page. No, but I'm wrong and apologize. I've done it before. What's your opinion on Elon Musk? Massive loser. Hey, Lady Lady Bredicus. Lady Bredicus. I love your name, Lady Bredicus. Welcome to Gene Day. It's a holiday I made up for myself. Why? Because Lady Bredicus. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the basement. I don't know if you're familiar with the basement, but I need to take you somewhere real quick. We're just gonna take a little break. So we're celebrating today. I decided to make my own holiday. See, look, we have desserts, we have balloons, we have all sorts of cakes and dessert and things like. Isn't it gorgeous? It's just so amazing, lovely, and a cage. So we're feeding you now, but you are stuck here. Welcome, Raiders. I hope you enjoy your cage. Proud of you. Enjoy your. Don't cage fight. Don't fight in the cage. No, you need to. I haven't even shaken the cage yet. Why are you throwing up? But yes, I hope you enjoy the cage. How was stream? What were you doing? Why does the mustache make this scary? Oh, well, because I have to keep you here. You don't have to cook. I'll cook for you. I'll make you. Well, we're eating cake. Exactly. It's not my birthday. It's a made-up holiday called Gene Day. What am I listening to now? Oh, 1 second. There we go. Sorry. Let me out. You're gonna pee myself. Well, don't pee yourself. Anyways, stay in the cage. Behave yourself. Be happy in there. We're doing quiz today. We're doing quiz. It is the Omegaverse quiz. I do really appreciate the raid. Oh, did we get a shout out for Lady Bredicus, by the way? We did? Sweet. Proud of you. But yes, I hope you enjoy your time here. If you need a raid run, feel free to do so. Did I ask you what you did for stream? I lost track. There's a fire. What do you mean there's a fire? Cult of the Lamb! Cult of the Lamb! Oh, sick! Was Cult of the Lamb fun? Are you just starting it, or have you been playing for a while? Bredicus escaping the cage. No! Hey! Stay in the cage. Behave yourself. She left us here. She left? She ditched you. Have fun with Overwatch. Thank you so very much for coming by. Cool, and I also recently did start too. Fine, I'll let you out for now, okay? Wait. Tank, DPS, or healer? This is very important to me. Tank, DPS, or healer? Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Favorite tank, though? Favorite tank? Favorite tank. Rom? Fine. Wrong, but fine. I'll give that. That one's okay. That one's okay. All right, well, you have fun. Okay. There are wrong answers. Gene B. No! Make me! Where'd my soju go? Oh, there it is. Yeah. I miss off tank. Ow! I miss when we had off tank. It was so cool. I was always a main off tank. On the horse voice? The horse voice? What is the horse voice? Sorry, what were we doing?
I'm gay or sparkles.
No. Okay, friend comes out to you. How do you respond? You're gay? That's kind of gay. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm comfortable with being friends. I already know, dumbass. Yeah, I already know, dumbass. Ruff. What is your favorite genre of television? Oh, why am I so... Give me a second. There we go. Okay. Favorite genre of television or book? Horror. How long had I been following? Exclamation point, follow it, should tell you. If you were stranded on an island and could only bring one thing, what would it be? I mean, a gun really isn't that useful without any ammunition. Honestly, a lighter is probably going to be the most useful. At least to start with. I mean, as long as you have something to make a spark, you can start a fire pretty easily. You stumble upon a dead body laid on the side of the road. A quick glance around you tells you you're alone. What do you do? I mean... It's on the side of the road, right? Yeah, call the cops. Call the cops as I drive by. Which aesthetic do you vibe with most? No, I'm not human. I'm... Oh, I love Solarpunk. Solarpunk is so cool. Solarpunk's the best. Solarpunk's the best, chat. Solarpunk is the best. Cottage Core, lame. Crow Core, Gremlin Core, I do dig it. But I love Solarpunk. Minimalism is the world's worst. Dark Academic is pretty nice. Scene emo punk goth grunge lame preppy. Ugh. Y2K. Not the Cheetah Girls. Not the Cheetah Girls. Why are we looking at the Cheetah Girls? Kawaii. Monochrome. Cyberpunk, not the game. Yeah, no, Solarpunk. What are you most afraid of? Death, and it's inevitable.
I recently bought some food-themed stationery, and these fry-shaped erasers taste pretty good. Would you like some?
Yes. They even had pets. What time of day do you like the most? Ow! I'm thinking. I like dawn. The reason why I like dawn the most is because everybody else are nighttime people, and then I get to wake up and there's nobody there. It's the best. Potluck. I'm bringing dessert. I'm bringing a side dish. I'm bringing... No, I'm... Okay, well, I guess I'll bring a nice side dish. Dark blue hour? That sounds nice. You've been supplied a whiteboard and a whiteboard marker. What's the first thing you draw? Penis. Hi, New Year. So I took on that they were funny. Well, thank you. I am funny. You should know I'm good. Proud of you. Proud of you for knowing I'm funny. It only gets worse from here. Text your best friend, partner, group chat right now. I'm serious. Ask them. Hey, chat. Am I a cat girl or a dog girl? Dog? Dog girl? Dog girl? Dog girl? Okay, yep. Dog girl. I mean, it said, like, text your group chat. And I'm like, I don't have group chats. Which of these images resonates with you the most? Driving home, penis. Now it's Mikey's turn to ask you a question. Michael Afton from Five Nights at Freddy's. What in God's name am I doing here? I am... Oh, come on, Mikey. Wikey, ask the reader a question. What, why? Back off, Mike. Author Chan is mine. Jeff the Killer. Grr, Author Chan is clearly a pasta like me. Tiki Toby, guys, it's like we're back in 2015. I like waffles. Hee hee. Author Chan, don't mind them. Girl, what the fuck? Girl, what the fuck? Wow, we're at question 41, really hitting big numbers here. Tell me, dear test taker, how are you feeling? Right now, taking the quiz. This will affect your results. Kind of bored. How do you snore? Yeah, unfortunately. When in public reading smut fluff, can you keep your face impassive? If you don't read fic in public, this one answer here. When reading smut. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I snore loudly, chat. I 100% snore loudly. Which fanfic site do you read on? I don't. I guess YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. It's the only ones I use here. What is your favorite animal? Dog. I'm a soft alpha, chat. I'm a soft alpha. Thank you for finishing the test, soft alpha. We here at Omegaverse Inc. congratulate you for your rare second gender. Here are some things you might need to know about this diagnosis. As a soft alpha, you exercise that need for control instinctively to all alphas, but you do so in a way that isn't brash or harsh. This makes you a natural leader that's also well and kind. You are a people pleaser at heart, and you cry if you think someone doesn't like you. What? You did all therapy, and now you need to therapy others. I did do therapy. You're an arts kid? Uh-huh. And wholeheartedly expected to get submissive Omega in this test. Should you enter the workforce, we recommend going to therapy, law, landscaping, farming, or even politics. You tickle your fancy. I'm most compatible with a flirty beta, a loner alpha, a caring beta, independent omega, and a submissive omega. There you go. There you go, chat. Are you happy with my result? It's rigged. I mean, are you not satisfied with my result? You thank you. You do know that, like, I'm a service top, right? I'm a soft dom, like practicing. Anyways, I just don't talk about it because it really doesn't matter here. Oh, you want to take the test? Yeah, bet. Give me a second. Do y'all not know what a service stop is? There's the test if you'd like to take it. Okay, let's go eat some more snacks, chat. Come on. Come on. It's snacking time. All right. You do? Okay, as long as you all know we're good. We're good. I don't need to tell anybody. Everybody knows now, right? Where's my... There it is. Oh. Well, no. There's gluten-free cake if you'd like it. Oh, this is so good. Why? Why are you making me do this? Don't you know I hate this voice so much? I mean, it's at 5:20 right now, so I have to wait until... Oh no, it's at 5:21 now. Now I have to wait till 5:22. You remembered my tiramisu? I totally remembered that the first time and didn't need to be reminded later. Man, God, is it my birthday? No, it's Gene Day. It's my own special holiday I made for myself. Yeah. I decided to make my own holiday. Because I wanted my own holiday. And now it's here. Gene Day, a day we get to celebrate being Gene. I mean, I do, but, you know. Luckily, this one only lasts a minute, so I don't have to stay in it too long. Make your own holiday. Today's my holiday. Today's mine, and you can't have it. Okay? Yeah, of course it's only a minute. I don't want to stay in this voice. It's going to make me uncomfortable, and it's going to make other people uncomfortable. Why would I have it any longer than that? I'm not here to satisfy your personal fantasies. Now I could drop out of it. And now... God damn it. I mean, really, is this the voice you want? This voice? You like this voice that much? Talk like cookies? I mean, I can get some cookies. We get to celebrate knowing Z. Exactly. You get to... why are you mixing these two? All right, we're gonna... I don't know if I can do this, but... all right, I'm gonna try to be very masculine. Ara. I can't do it. There's no back... Ara. I'm sorry. I tried, okay? That's the best I can do. That is the best I can do. Personal fantasy, I do not have a fantasy of a whiny male. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know some people here do. I know some people do. Now, what are we doing? Nerd voice 3 minutes? All right, I can do that. There's the service topic in there to satisfy your Gibbets. That's exclusively in bed. I don't do that in a public space, okay? That's different. That's for me and a partner that I have, not for everybody to watch. I might like exhibitionism sometimes, but definitely not in this space. My fantasy is mentally unstable men who might kaboom me. Kaboom you? But you're gonna get exploded? Why would you want to get exploded? That's not a good thing to be. Addy, you don't want to be sad. You don't want to be blown up. Why would you want to be? No, that's bad. You have a whole slideshow of my types. I mean, let me see that slideshow. I'm sure it's very entertaining. Other type of explosion. Like explosion in your pants? How does that work? How to explode your pants? You know what? I don't know a lot of things, not really. I want a man to disrespect me in bed and cuddle me for a movie afterwards. What if I'm not in the mood to watch a movie? Then what? I'm the biggest Chad in the manosphere. When people get a whiff of my alpha aura, they quiver in their boots because they know they're beneath my feet. It's true. It's very true. I'm super alpha. I once watched this guy, and he was like, this is how you be alpha. And so first thing you do is if you like do your chin up like this, and then you look down at everybody, and oh, why am I getting hit again? How am I get hit? Oh. Denemy? Well, who's Denemy? Oh. There's marshmallows in this. Oh, that pass. I'll take those. Thank you. Denemy? I can't breathe and I'm crying. Oh my. Why are you crying? What happened? Did something happen to you? Somebody go check on Carmilla. They're very sad right now for some reason. I thought this was a funny, fun time, but apparently they're sad. This voice is killing me out of the bed laughing and got hurt. You got her. Go Band-Aids or something. Do you have like ice cubes? Could you go check with an ice cube? Venus. I am the Venus. I am above all else. I come back and motherfucker got a list from hell. We don't say those kind of words here. It's heck, okay? Little guy named Birdie. Birdie! Wait for it. I think we're almost there. This voice makes me mad. Why, Dwarf? What did I do to make you mad? I did nothing. I am such asthma. Breathe. Well, maybe don't breathe. What are you supposed to do with asthma? He got that asthma. Anyways, very, and we can stop. There we go. It ain't easy being wheezy. I can feel the brave through the screen. He's an innocent guy. He could do no wrong. No. Bernie, no. So I have the world's greatest soju right now. It tastes like cough syrup. Yummy. Apparently it's supposed to be apple, but yeah, it tastes like cough syrup. It doesn't even taste like, I don't know. I don't know if like the person who made this soju had ever had an apple before. But if they had, they're lying. All right. I think I might make all my voices 1 minute, and then we'll just lower the price a little bit. Or we'll allow them to respawn more often. No, it doesn't taste like apple-flavored cough syrup. It tastes like NyQuil. Oh, ooh, that made my nose stuffy. 1 sec. I like the voices, but I do think some of them go on for too long. It's just a little awkward when somebody comes in and I'm like stuck in a voice for 5 minutes and their first impression of me is like, he's Southern, and then I drop it. So I might make them shorter but cheaper and make them like respawn more often, you know? And that way I can swap between things more frequently. Where is my... Jeez, there it is. Oh no, but I did bring back the clicker for today. Like I said, I'm bringing back a lot of fan favorites today. Just for today. We're gonna name it Red. Yeah? Addie, behave yourself. The nerd voice is Birdie. Can do. Addie, don't pay attention to the clicker. The clicker's going away now. I just wanted to bring it back for a joke. You're fine. All right. You did the test. What'd you get, Red Moon? I do think it's funny, Boko, as my service cat, you being affected by the clicker. Submissive Omega. Checks out, Moon! Checks out! Get a Submissive Omega! Goofy little voidlings. A bunch of goofy little voidlings is what you are. All right, now it's time to bring back the silly tracks. Okay, so next we can do a test that's supposed to like really get to know me, or we can play Katamari Damacy. I mean, we probably could. Should we do Katamari? Let's do Katamari. I think Katamari's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's fine. No, not hit you. She's gonna send the police after you. Different thing. Too bad. That's what swatting is. Ah, it's so loud. Ah, help. Help! My ears! Give me a second, I'm trying to fix this. It won't let me change the volume. Oh, that was awful. That was awful. What the heck? It's not my birthday. That's why I say Gene Day, not my birthday. It is a fake holiday I've made up, Gene Day. But I appreciate it anyways. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was wrongly jailed on the TikTok account? No. Now you've been correctly jailed. No ordering toaster oven. Stop buying so much food. Do you know I have it into... I was trying to write down every food order that has been made. Chad, do you want to know how many food orders there were? No, we're going to read it. We're going to read what the TikTok people have ordered. Just TikTok. All right? I didn't get through all of them. I gave up. Are you ready? Wrong one. Are you ready? So, TikTok ordered this food. Starting with one pizza, 63 Big Macs, 214 nuggets from McDonald's, 38 orders of fries, 34 Sprites, 129 sundaes, one Burger King Whopper, one sweet tea, 18 sweet and sour sauce, one ramen, one takoyaki, one mod sticks, Dino Nuggets order, meatball sub, Taco Bell ordered 3 times, Whataburger, Brahms, Sonic, crust pizza, whatever that is, nugget, generic, some frozen, one pina colada, 5 orders of McDonald's, strawberry smoothie, Chinese, chocolate milkshake, cheese bites, Zaxby's, Whataburger, Burger King, just a single order. A number 1 from Whataburger, a number 1 from Burger King, a Sonic Shake, Cane's, 8 shrimp tacos, Gimyu Tomika, which is an anime character. You can't order anime characters. A side of ranch, 2 Dr. Peppers, 1 boba tea, 1 vegetable lo mein, a cheese pizza, Coke, crab boil with potatoes, and egg for some reason, pain meds, French toast, insurance. I can't give you insurance. A pretty outfit, also not food. Burger, generic. Cake. Hot chocolate. Strawberry milkshake. Taco plate. Water. Only one there's like 2 orders of water this entire thing. People need to order more water. Chicken shrimp quesadilla. Cheesecake. Sprite cranberry. The entire menu of McDonald's. 20-piece nuggets from Jack in the Box. Curly fries from Jack in the Box. Mike Spicy. I think they meant Mix Spicy, but it's too bad. Root beer. No ice. Small fries. McDonald's. Everything. Again. Another pizza. Ice cream. Sushi. Wendy's. Sushi. Orange chicken. Rice. Double cheeseburger. Fries. Dr. Pepper. McDouble. Medium saltless fries. Sprite no ice. Atomic Wings. Wingstop. Sweet tea. Chicken nuggets. Chimkin nuggets. 3 double cheeseburgers. Sonic. Donut. 2 lemonades. Fries. Happy Meal sushi. Pizza. Green tamales. E. The letter E. I don't know if they mean ecstasy or estrogen. Either way, I don't know what they're getting. Mac and cheese and wings. Sushi. Shinobu. Again a person. Burger. Fries. Waffle fries. Chicken nuggies. Juice box. Dino nuggies. Chocolate milk. Bacon Whopper. Plain. Pepsi. Korean pork belly. No ginger. Chicken nuggets. Nuggets air fry. Tea. Fries. Cheeseburger. Popeyes. Cheeseburger. Happy Meal. Double fries. Frozen Fanta slush made with... and being made of less... I have no idea what that meant. That's fine. McDonald's again. Apple slices, no peel. Starbucks, Buffalo, mac and cheese. Lemonade, French fries, 20-piece chicken nugget. From McDonald's, Panda Express, frozen dino nuggies, vanilla ice cream, raisin canes, Caniac combo, sweet tea, extra toast with sauce, spaghetti and meatballs, pizza, tacos, Qdoba, frizz, I don't know what Fres was, but I wrote it down. Burrito, margarita, steak with mac and cheese and cold water, Taco Bell, Popeyes, Dino Nuggets, Dr. Pepper, pancakes, homemade curry and ramen, pizza rolls, pizza, nuggets, coffee, chicken, chicken tenders, fries, curly fries. I can't believe somebody ordered just chicken. That one threw me off. Jamocha shake from Arby's, 30 nuggets, nuggies, nuggets air fried, fries, mozzarella stick, 55 burgers, 55 shakes, Dr. Pepper, Taco Bell, tea, Philly roll, and tea again. Oh, sorry, mozzarella sticks was a ton. And I gave up. I quit writing after that. My hand started hurting. My hand hurt for a while. So, oh, hydrate, sweet. Let me hydrate. And can I say redeem? I can say redeem. Oh, I'm the biggest Chad in the, oh, I read that. There's not been another one. I've already done that one. Head pats, thank you. I'm totally here for training Neeks with the clicker. Hello, Sushi Boo, thank you for the follow. And then Ooh, thank you so much for the redeem. Oh yeah, I did it in the nerd voice. Yours was the Korean barbecue because apparently you're allergic to ginger smell. So yeah, that was done. All right, you ready for Katamari Damacy? Okay. Katamari Damacy. Let's do it. I lost the game. Why are you not working? Oh, wait a second. I will fix the screen once we get into settings. Alright, we're gonna stop the music. Alright. I mean, I read most every single message in there. I just didn't want to write them all down. Head pass, thank you. Okay, left to right. Alright. Wait. W-I. Huh? Wait a second. This is wild. Let me give you a second. This is interesting. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, wait. W-I-D-L? Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do the roll to the right. W-I. Ah, got it. Okay. There we go. I'm so ready. Okay. We're gonna see if it lets me make the screen bigger. Hopefully it does. Next challenge, charge and roll. Quick turn, look and jump. Careful with the look and jump. Okay. Wait, W, K. Figure that one. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, Boku, I too can lie. I'm sure you did. Did you screenshot it? I love this. Oh my god, I love this. I love this already. I'm just gonna make the game bigger. 1 second. There we go. Chat, we need to start over. It didn't play the thing. I gotta start over. I'm so sorry, but we have to replay it. You missed him. You missed it. You missed it because I clicked off the game. I'm sorry. That would be his schmeenus. Na 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 katamari damasi. Na 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 katamari damasi. Na 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 katamari damasi. Na 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 katamari damasi. I hope you enjoyed that. Anyways, here we go. Oh, what? What the heck is going? Come on, come on. There it goes. Okay. Aha! Hello, Prince. This is the king. Long time no see. We thought today would be the good day for rolling the Katamari. Okay. We're just gonna do this real quick. Let's go. Okay. Nope. Wait, okay. There you go. I can only count to 4. 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 Here it goes, chat. This is the important part. Do you hear the noises in the background? Oh, look, the stars are going out. What's going on? Your BF is trying to get Gene ripped? Are they? Bet. Get me ripped. No, it was indeed not a dream. really did it, the king of all cosmos. All right, yeah, no, bet, we'll do it. I'll do it. We'll do Elden Ring. Let's not do Dark. Why Dark Souls 2? His special interest is Dark Souls 2 push-ups. We'll do Elden Ring. I'll do Elden Ring. I'll 100% do Elden Ring. We broke it. Yes. We were naughty. Completely naughty. So very sorry. But just between you and us, it felt quite good. Not that we can remember very clearly, but we were in all nature's embrace. He felt the beauty of all things and felt love for all. Yeah, chat, he got really high or drunk and destroyed all the stars. Don't skedaddle. Did you see we smiled a genuine smile? Did you see the stars splintering in perfect beauty? So many there used to be. Almost a nuisance. Now there's nothing but darkness. Heh. 'Tis but a dream. Beautiful one. The miraculous, fabulous moment has passed. It's over. We came to and found everyone furious. Even the king of all cosmos was not spared their wrath. Really, everybody was irate. So anyway, Pee-wee Prince, hurry up and bring back the glorious starry sky. Problem, your problem? Yes, we owe you. You owe us your existence. We collected on the dead. Yes. Hand in, always. There. Yes. Very definition of father-son bond. All right, time to get cracking. All right, chat. So here's what we do. We go around Earth. The king of the cosmos is bigger than the planet. Here we are on Earth. Full of things as usual. Fine. I guess I can do this again. So small. You're small as ever. We didn't notice, not one jot, that they were stars at all. What is this? That body, that physique, is that really our son? I've got it. Build yourself up while you roll the Katamari. Work out and get bigger. Yes, indeed. Don't stop hitting me with things. Don't presume to take the escalator up the throne just because you're the prince. Woo, tangent. First time on Earth means no, can't worry about time. We think we'll come up, blah, blah. Just remember, many things live here, scurry around, and generally getting in the way. When one of them sneaks up behind you and an alert comes up in the lower left, you should try not to bump into anything alive. But don't worry about it too much. It won't end the game or anything, so just relax and roll. Good luck, it's thinking. So I'm tiny, and he's massive. Yes. All right, I need also turn down a little bit right there. Anyways, what are we welcome with? Crystal. What's Crystal? Who's Crystal? Nobody's name is Crystal. Oh, this guy? So which one? Which one? The prince is the size of a snail. I'm the size of a snail right now. Vanyas! Hello, Vanyas. How are you doing? Miss you, sweetie. And I grow as I get things bigger. So tiny, yes. And the king of the universe, a king of the cosmos, he's just bigger than the earth. And I'm his child, so honestly, it's kind of a weird situation we got going on there. Yes. Na, the Katamari Damacy. That's what it's called. It's called Katamari Damacy. Damacy? I don't know. I can't really pronounce the word that well. Katamari Daddy issues. Got it. How goes it, Prince? Oh, you've made a 10-centimeter Katamari. How fabulous. We forgot all about that. You're mostly clear on everything. Everyone on Earth is very nice, so they'll be very helpful. They'll let you roll up everything with a smile. Yes, possibly also a wave. Bye, Onyx. You behave yourself, okay? I want to be bigger. It's not fair. They won't let me get big. Nom, nom, nom. Happy Gene Day. Happy Gene Day. Hello, Violet Vortex. How are you doing? Thank you for checking in. Yes. 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 Yes, Boku. You made 120 bucks from plasma? From one session? I might try that then. That sounds amazing. And now we can stop this voice again. Woo! Okay, we're back. Got you. What do you mean, keep the mustache? Like permanently? No. It's just for Gene Day. All right, I'm excited to see you back. Maybe I'll do it. What sounds like Velcro? The mustache? Oh. Let's make a start. Hydrate. Thank you. Thank you for the hydrate. I am very cool. Mangdong Tangli Po. Have you ever been to the Philippines? We stopped in the day before yesterday. We hope you can visit during the days rolling, like that's possible. Oh yes, a royal prince for a hardworking prince. What's that? We were thinking while playing catch with your present, and it went down to earth. Must be around somewhere, so roll it up while you're at it. Philippines, let's go. Today you'll be rolling inside a house. The Katamari should be around 20 centimeters. All right, 7 minutes. Let's go, chat. Let's go. All right, what we got? Grow a little bit, grow a little bit. Come on. There we go. We're doing good. We're doing good. Yeah. That's what we're looking for. Oh, nice. Good luck finding a good one. I believe in you. Let me know what you find. Yes. We're as big as a bowl, chat. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Did not what? Who didn't what? There we go. You gotta go? Alright, bye-bye. Have fun with whatever you're doing. Ow. Get down here. Ooh, I'm so focused right now, chat. House. 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 Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go, we made it. Now we can get nice and big. Nice and big. Enjoy your food. I was so much worse at this game as a kid. Oh, I feel like I'm so good at it right now. Sorry, I'm so hyper-focused right now. Chat, I got stuck. I think I'm too big. Wait, there we go. Come on, fit. Bye-bye, be good. Hey, Addy. Be good. I don't believe you. No one's good all the time. Thank you for the stream check-in, Ray. How you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm good. I'm having a fun Gene day. And there we go. There's Katamari Damacy. Damachi, Damacy, Dama, 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 Dama. Ooh. My fingies hurt. My fingies hurt, chat. Royal Rainbow. Royal President. My fingers do hurt, actually. Oh, I may need to get a controller for this. We made genius. I'll take a little break. I'll take a little fingy break.
そろそろ出発しますよ。はーい。
臨時ニュースです。星空が突如なくなってしまいました。原因は現在調査中とのことです。
The star's vanished. What'd you get, Allie? What'd you get? Oh. All right, let's go. Let's go back to the party chat. We're gonna go to just chatting scene. It's gone. It's gone. Allie, I don't believe you. I think you copied my answers. I think you copied my answers. It's gone, chat. I think you copied me. It's the only way it makes sense. Yep, rigged. You rigged it. You must have. How's you gonna get my answers, huh? How's you gonna get my answers? Explain that. What'd you get? What'd you get, Neeks? What'd you get? Tell me. 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 You got submissive, didn't you? You got like ultra submissive. You got like the world's most submissive there is, right? Knew it. Knew it. Knew it. Absolutely knew it. I can see it. I can see it in your face. I got soft alpha. You got stoic? How'd you get... Oh, stoic omega. I'm sorry, did you say make them melt in your hands? What am I doing? Am I off? What's going on here? Hi! Hi, Kaida. Hi, KK. How you doing? Welcome to Gene Day. How you doing? We're playing Katamari Damacy. We did the Megaverse quiz. My fingies hurt. Oh, I'll put my mustache back on for you. The mustache is a key feature of this. That makes it really Gene Day. It's not Gene Day without a mustache, so... What is this? Oh. Interesting. Chat, I have a child? Help? Does anybody... whose child is this? Whose child is this? Whose child? Okay, ready? Ready? Ah. They don't seem happy. All right, so that you have to have a mustache for it to be Gene Day. It's very important. No cowboy, no clown noses allowed though. I also have this. I forgot about this. Oh, whoops. Well, 1 second. Just gonna get rid of the child for a little while. Away with you. All right, chat. Hands up. Hands where I can see them. Give me your hands. Put them up. Put them up, chat. Ah! Why are you hitting me? How you doing, KK? All right, where's my mustache? I keep losing my mustache. Do you mind if I call you KK? Yay! I have a nickname for you now. I'm super excited. There it is. Has to be a pink mustache. Pink mustache is also very important. Ow! There we go. Pink mustache time. Oh, wait, what did we just get? Thank you for the follow, Tex. How you doing, Tex? How you doing, Tex? Evening. I like KK. KK. Kaida? I like Kaida too. I mean, Kaida's nice. Kaida. Have fun, Lurks. I got a sword. Why do you have a sword? Why do you have a sword? Put the sword away. You know what? No, you can keep your sword. I know I'm gonna defend. You ready? Kita. Bye, Kita. I'll defend with a child. Yeah, try to fight me while I have a child, huh? You gonna do that? You gonna fight me while I have a child? Is that what you're gonna do? Child shield, child shield, child shield, child shield. Ha 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 ha. You cannot deflect the cuteness of... I mean, look at this child. Look how cute they are. So cute. Anyways. I will use the child as a shield. Though I'll use them to defend. Wait, look at this, Ready? You ready? They copy my expressions. Oh, I mean, the idea is to get the Voidling in like a 3D model form. Don't like the child? I'm kidding. Eat the child. Anyways, we're gonna throw the child away. Where were we? I kind of liked having the kid. Dino Nuggy. I'm so out of it. Oh, what time is it? We have at least 10 more minutes for stream. You need your own kid? I mean, Kata, you offering? No, let me take a look at stream real quick. We'll go to the just chatting category for a while. I feel you. I get you. Hey, they started it. You can't blame me for that one. You cannot blame me for that one. Oh, hey, Pets. I appreciate it. I am not like a child. What do you mean? Why is Allie twerking? When does Allie not twerk? I think it's funny. Spray, twerks, spray. Allie's just like twerking 24/7, chat. Allie twerks all the time. You don't even know how often Allie twerks. I mean, like right now, non-stop, bouncing. True facts. So that's what they like. It's like a stim for them, you know? Yes, dwarf. They're lies. I have never lied once in my life, ever. The entire time I've been alive, I've never once ever lied. Ever. Ever. Yes, dwarf? What's up? I smell chocolate. What'd you get, dwarf? What'd you get? Loner alpha. That's so sad. It's so sad. Have you tried not being a loner alpha? Thank you for following, Jace Cosmetology. Do you do cosmetology? Is your name Jay? I mean, valid name. Today's Gene Day. Welcome to Gene Day. This is the national holiday to celebrate me. Why? Because I feel like I deserved a holiday, okay? It should not be that strange that I believe I deserve a holiday. Is it weird that I want a holiday? I just want time off from work. I should have taken the day off is what I should have done. Next year, we're taking the day off. Everybody together, everybody's taking the day off, okay? Oh, good. That means I can kidnap you again, yeah? So you want to be kidnapped? There we go. Welcome. I hope you enjoy. Holiday? If I could go anywhere, where would I go for holiday? Hey, stop hitting me. I'm thinking about holidays now, chat. This is important. Okay, holidays. So that one was on there for a while. Holidays. Holidays. Where would I go on holiday? I think Germany right now. I have family in Germany. Und ich mag sie. Ich mag sie. Alles ist sehr gut auf Deutschland. Und Essen? Besser. Come to the UK? Yeah. I mean, I could. I have been. Oh, I've been to like Scotland. I've been to Scotland once. I've been to Wales once. I've been to the UK once. Each time I was supposed to see a friend there. Each time I had a falling out with a friend before I got there. So I have yet to meet any of my friends in the UK. Yeah. Ooh. Well, to be fair, I used to not be the best person, so it was fine. I totally understood why we weren't friends anymore. I think we're coming up on the end of stream. Now, y'all chill with what's coming up on the end of stream here. We've been doing about a 2-hour-long stream. I'm tired. I have so much work to do. Sweet. Good. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with everybody here. Eeps, I'm so eepy. Hello, Honeydew. You came right at the end of stream. Congratulations. Whoop, whoop, woo. Also, welcome to your cage. It's very important. Happy Gene to everybody. Next year, I'll take this day off and I'll get some more energy, but I have so much stuff to do that I can't stick around for much longer, unfortunately. And one of the things I need to do is sleep. I'm so honestly tired. But I'll be back in the morning. As we are every day. 2 streams a day. 2 streams a day. I'm tired. I'm tired. Can I go to sleep, please? I'm gonna keep you in the cages. I wanna go to bed. Okay, we've been raiding the femboy a lot. Let's not raid the femboy. This is shooter game. Wait, wasn't it somebody's birthday? I think it was somebody's birthday today. Give me a second. Show more. I guess they aren't live. All right, well, we'll go right desyncs. Desync seems
Thing
cool.
real quick that I didn't realize I hadn't changed. Just a moment. Let me see if I can.
So, chat, you're gonna go say hi to desync. You all behave yourself. They're a little voidling. They're very cool looking. I don't really know them that well, but you all say hi to them, okay? Oh wait, is it your birthday today, Honeydew? It was your mom's? Oh, all right. Well, tell your mom I say happy birthday. Ah. All right, we're gonna do a little raid to desync. Gonna do a little lucky raid. Bam, grab it. Happy Gene Day, everybody. Good night. Mwah. I'll see you later. See you tomorrow morning.